assured him it wasn't going to hurt. That's what he said. I didn't even read that in any kind of way. What do you mean?
No, that wasn't you that time. That was just imagine Tyler Perry, like real close to you. Treat myself right. Another text. What you doing? Another text. Derek. This is a millionaire.
Which I think this is a beautiful thing for that.
Yeah.
That assists you with your transition, still keeps you active, keep you talking about in the sport, allows you to build a brand and a network.
I wish they had something like that for the football players instead of wives. Like,
the white men are the black women of Western men.
The feet upon the horse that whipped your ancestors are now next to your face on the bed. Deleted his Twitter account. I'm tired of you.
I told you what it is when it comes to that. They want to violate their oppressor. That's what I say. It got to a point now where folks were pushing out the commentary. Oh, look at the black men who wouldn't do this in the white league, doing this at the black league and causing a ruckus.
That's exactly what I thought initially when you told me the story. I was like, why would you go to the black event to show your black?
I want y'all to know something very, very important. Is the goat skin condom that we use to the Middle East with.
The citizens in Memphis, I think, a lot better.
His forehead is so large. It's so large that it's distracting. Oh my God. Like this man, like he has to be East African.
The World War III is upon us. Keep painting this as this issue of culture and it, you know what? It is an issue of culture. It's a culture of not valuing people. And that's what you get.
You can't bootstrap your way out of generational poverty. Like it's extremely difficult.
Your whole life is revolved around talking about other people's lives.
What the fuck do you think your ass is doing on that podcast now?
This podcast is sponsored by Graffiti Tax Services. For all your tax preparation needs, you can go to graffititax.com. We're going to put the link right here. It should be somewhere. And yeah, you can head to them for during tax season. And if you have any financial or tax preparation questions, head to Graffiti Tax Services. They're our new sponsor. Thank you to Graffiti Tax Preparation Services. That's it. We taking this show on the road.
There's a conspiracy going on here.
Conspiracy is crazy.
No, it's definitely a conspiracy.
Because it's a well thought out plan that we will execute as a married couple.
I don't think we're executing.
We're moving to New York, baby.
See, don't make that announcement. That's not has even been thought about right now. That's not even where we're at.
I'm manifesting it.
And see, this is why
I already have our lives planned out.
Like I said, you're like 5 steps ahead before
I know I know where we're gonna live. I know the second place we're gonna live. I know what I'm gonna do. I know what you're gonna do. I know where we're gonna record. We gonna have a side hustle. You gonna have friends that you wanna hang out with. I have friends I wanna hang out with already there. It's gonna be a beautiful situation. Are you ready?
No, I'm not at all. I'm not a New Yorker.
Okay.
That's not. I don't feel like I'm built for that area.
New York turns you into a New Yorker. There's a piece of New York for everybody.
I don't even want to see what New York Fred looks like. I don't want it to be that monster that this city turns people into.
What monster?
I don't know. That's what everybody says. The city changes you. People say the city changes you.
You become more of yourself in New York City, I feel like.
I don't know, man. It's just, to me, I don't feel like I have what is necessary to thrive in New York. I feel like.
What do you think is necessary to thrive in New York?
Like be mean.
You do not need to be mean.
I think it's to be like very cutthroat and ruthless to people.
No, you just need to mind your business.
I think that's one big necessary thing to thrive out there. I'm talking about to thrive out there, not just exist. I think existing in New York is like the one thing you wouldn't want to do. You want to be in a position where you're like,
I think as far as like
upward mobility,
and having to be cutthroat, we live in capitalist United States of America. That's but every single state.
When I think of New York, I think of like super capitalism.
There's more opportunity in New York.
I mean, heck, with capitalism comes with the idea of opportunity. Yeah, sure. I'm not saying there isn't.
Your girl was scrolling. I was like, job. I can get. It's a list this long.
I mean, you got to talk to them and the job.
What do you mean?
market-
I can't get the jobs?
No, I'm not
you trying
saying
to say
that.
I can't get the
See,
jobs?
This is what I'm saying. Now you're trying to act like I'm bringing you down when I'm just saying like.
You telling me to be realistic is bringing me down.
See, how can we exist in this world? We're not going to be a little realistic.
Shut your mouth. I'm not here to be realistic.
I'm not here to be delusional.
Okay, you be what you need to be, and don't.
That's why I'm being real with you.
Don't leak it over here.
I don't
okay?
I don't think I'm a
Leave
manifestation.
my delusion bubble intact.
I don't think I'm a manifestation of what a New Yorker can be. Like, it's one thing being from the DMV, then coming to Atlanta. That's hate. And then coming to Atlanta.
It's not even a thing.
Because it's like things went slower for you. You know, it wasn't like I had to like pick up. So now it's like after years of moving at this pace.
Yeah, you need to speed it up a little bit.
I don't think so. I think it's going to
like
destroy
complacency.
me. It's not
You're
complacency.
Comfortable and you're safe, and we need to go. Pack it up.
It's not about just a comfortability and a safe.
Nah, but on some real shit, I did go to a different school every single year of my like every single school year I went to a different school until high school. So I just feel like I just staying in one place for too long just makes me a little bit uncomfortable maybe.
That's why. I mean, I don't mind adventuring out here and there, but it's just I just feel like that's a big jump.
Be a permanent move.
No, I mean that's the even thing. I don't like moving around.
You just want to stay in one place for the rest of your life until you fucking die?
No, I'm not saying that I don't have to.
You said you don't like moving around,
but you talking about like up and down chain. Like no, I mean I don't want to do something that's a.
I don't want to do like a 6 months here, 6 months there. Like
I don't want to do that either.
No, that's not what I want to do. I want to maybe do like a 5 years and then come back. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, the discussions will continue. This is a I'm a noble leader, so
he's being a big pussy.
You can say that. I don't
Doesn't
care.
want to go to the Big Apple.
Yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot of Apple, man. Atlanta is a good place. It wasn't like I haven't lived. I lived in other places that hasn't been Atlanta, so
yeah,
it just was all Southern, and that's just to me is an easier adjustment than going to now a more northern environment.
I'm just feeling like I didn't realize Atlanta is way too African American for me. Like,
wow, what the fuck?
I need the diaspora. I need immigrants. But by the time we get back to New York, who knows if there's going to be immigrants left?
I mean,
it's only going to be the ones who got papers that are left.
It's going to be the clean ones.
Hopefully.
At this time right now, we don't know.
Yeah,
because
it's crazy.
If you don't got your papers together, it's going to be the ice is coming.
Yeah, and it's been really bad in New York.
All right, you're now listening to Talk FNF TV. I'm your host, Absurd Rhetoric. I'm my lovely and amazing and gorgeous co-host, Miss Farah.
Hi, guys.
See how she can just get on cue like that? It's amazing work right there. All right, we got to, man. It was funny how we just had a clip that did pretty well for us about this gentleman. And now he's just back in the news for just unsavory behavior. Tyler Perry, what's going on? What are we doing here?
Tyler Perry's addicted to Twinks.
It seems to be. It seems to be. So Tyler Perry, TMZ has reported about him that he is now in a lawsuit regarding a sexual assault with an actor that was on his show, The Oval.
Mm-hmm.
And I
he
believe
was
also,
on 2 of his shows.
Yeah, he played on a couple roles.
Mm-hmm.
He was out here working. So I do want to read a little excerpt just from here. From the TMZ article. It says the most aggressive incident allegedly went down in June 2021. Again, at Tyler's Atlanta home. Dixon was staying. This is Derek Dixon, the person who's making these accusations, was staying in the guest house and wearing only his underwear.
Did we explain what he's like being accused of?
I said sexual assault.
Okay.
I just didn't go to like all the allegations.
Go ahead.
But I just wanted to just go on this one. Like I say, so he was wearing his underwear when he says Tyler came in to give him a good night hug. Tyler's sick. He alleges Tyler yanked down his underwear, groped his butt, and said, "Relax. Just let it happen."
Don't.
I can't do it like that?
No, you cannot put a sexy narration voice on fucking sexual assault. Bleep that out. It's too early. But you're bugging right now.
I didn't know I couldn't read it like that.
No, you can't read it like that. First of all, like,
I was
that just creeped me out.
I was just trying to make the situation seem like how it was.
Yeah, but we don't need that. We don't need the reality. The reality is already grim.
Assured him it wasn't going to hurt. Dixon, that's what he said. I didn't even read that in any kind of way. What do you mean?
No, that wasn't you that time. That was just like, just imagine Tyler Perry, like real close to you, and your butt is out, and he's like, "Don't worry." Oh my God!
So when you do it, it's cool. That's crazy. When you do it, it's cool though.
Yeah, it's a problem when you do it.
Oh my goodness!
This is cool when I do it. This is a problem when you do it.
This is male violence. Okay, if anybody can joke about it, it should be me. All right. So it says, Dixon says he managed to rebuff the advance by changing the subject. So what could you change the subject to? Like, that is the craziest switch
He has
up.
your bare buttocks in hand. What?
Like, he's already prepared.
How about the Mets? The Nets. What is it?
It's me. Both of them are
Oh,
teams.
yeah.
One's baseball, one's
okay,
basketball.
I was like, wait. That sounded wrong.
Like,
You're
I'm just saying, like, so what in your, that's what I'm saying. Like, to be able to think that quickly on your feet, that's impressive. To be able to switch the subject from it won't hurt to now we not even doing this anymore.
So that is something that
he brought up some trauma.
That is something that I will commend Derek on, because he swerved. He was swerving so many of Tyler's attempts to flirt with him and like have sexual conversations. He'd be like, yeah, in therapy for that.
just throwing it all on the therapist every time.
Every time Tyler made a sexual advance at him, he'd be like, and that's just not something I do, like body tenses up. I'm in therapy for that. Like he said that he told Tyler that he is like completely celibate and doesn't have sex because he has trouble with that and he's in therapy for that. And he said that was something that he had to do regularly to like ward off his attempts.
Yeah,
to get that booty.
One of the allegations here in the article was about that Tyler actually put him in a role where he was like a homeless, poor gay guy.
Yeah, that's his role in
the Oval.
Yeah, so
okay.
he's homeless, he's poor,
and gay,
and he's gay, and he has to sleep with people for food and shelter. And allegedly, Tyler told him that this is the type of partner I want. Tyler. You live in Atlanta. Go just pluck one off the street. What do you mean? It's a bunch of men on the streets of Atlanta who will gladly give up that hole.
So I want to read some of the text messages here, right? Can I do my Tyler voice when I read the messages? I feel like that's fair. It's not. It wasn't the allegations here. This is just.
We'll see how I feel about it. Go ahead.
What's it gonna take?
Nope.
You didn't even let me start.
No.
Like I have this idea that he like brings like this kind of like raspy tone to it.
It's texting.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm talking about in his head when he's.
Do you have a tone in your head when you're texting people?
Sometimes.
You be sexy texting other bitches. You be having a sexy tone in your head when you be DMing bitches
when I used
Instagram?
When I used to, yeah.
Okay.
I used to have like a little.
You better be used to.
I mean, you the one who's trying to put the allegations on here on Front
I'm doing
Street.
Investigative journalism.
You're doing it on me?
Yeah. I usually just...
The absurd affair.
I usually just reply to the text in my head and forget to reply to it in real life.
See, that's
ADHD.
You got to see. I have a lot of typo issues, so I have to make sure I'm reading it out and doing all that. Because if I don't, it's gonna look crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna just FaceTime you.
So this is what Tyler says. So what is it gonna take you to have guiltless sex? Have y'all found that out in therapy? Yes, it's exactly the same kind of car. Geo Metro. Giving up my religious guilt, becoming Buddhist. That's cool. Where you came from? That's what he said to Derek.
This doesn't even make sense.
He said where you came from. Unfortunately, Derek, I have friends in the 50s and 60s who are still dealing with that, and it's so sad. You can have freedom from religious guilt and still believe in Christ.
He's literally just trying to be like, give up God so I can get that booty.
So like the thing too, like when you look at this,
am I wrong?
No, you're on it. You're onto it. The other thing
Tyler.
about some of his behavior, it like switches from being like feminine to masculine. If you read like some of the text, because like one of the situations, he sends him a picture of him.
That's
like,
literally the one I was pulling up. I
Oh,
was like,
right.
you're not getting to it fast enough because this is the one I remember.
So he sends a picture of him
And he's standing there, okay, hand
on the sketchy on the
post
ski.
for me. He said, ass fat, slim thick, no tummy.
So he had the cover the tummy covered because he had the life preserver on. So he had that over the chest, the blue swim trunks, right, about 6 inches above the knee.
We don't. Okay.
And he sends him the picture. No comment. Nothing on there. So that's definitely something your girl would do. Derek reacts, nice picture. Yeah, that water looks calm. And when I tell you, I have never seen a man so upset about a response.
Homosexual man.
Like he was distraught. He said, nice picture.
4 question marks.
4 of them guys.
He said 1, 2, 3, 4.
He was pissed. He was pissed. And then he goes, in all caps, great, amazing, awesome picture. This is when it goes crazy right here. This is when you know this nigga is a psychopath. You don't see that stud in that nice pic?
Address a baddie when you see one.
And then rude in all caps.
A separate text. Yo, that was my favorite one, honestly. Like, all jokes aside, because this is a very serious matter. But you can't fucking yell laugh while I'm saying this is a serious matter.
That nigga put it in all caps. He said rude. Oh my God. Tyler Perry, you are a sick hombre, yo.
And there was so many just random texts.
But we got to ask the questions, man.
He goes, treat myself right. Another text. What you doing? Another text. Derek. This is a millionaire. Texting like this. Pathetic. Derek goes, just talking to my sister. He's irritated, but he's like, I gotta reply to these texts.
Gotta touch base.
Or I need this job.
I can't be on the show.
Tyler goes, eye roll. Doesn't send the eye roll emoji because he's 76 years old.
And then he didn't even put the little 2 stars. Some people put the stars.
Nope. And then he goes, fine. Another text. Good night. Another text. I'll go through the 600 people in my phone book. He said, I got 600 holes I could dip in and out of.
No, but he told him something else after that.
And then he said, and be annoyed that I don't want to talk to any of them. He said, you're the one that I want.
You're 601, Derek.
And you're the one.
Do you not understand how important that number is?
And then Derek goes, trying to get off so I can go to sleep.
Derek is texting him like it's a shift. It's just part of the gig.
Derek is just here to clock in and out. And he goes, I understand. It's just so weird. Their dynamic is so weird.
It's so funny that he doesn't see that he's playing him. It's so weird that he just doesn't care. He thinks he's playing hard to get. He's playing hard to hide the twink. He's like, no, I'm after you. I want you. He's like, please go away. Stop it, big man. Stop it, sir.
And then he's taking on kind of a mentor role in some of these texts and giving him career advice.
Yeah, he told him about not to be friendly on set, but that seems also coordinated.
And he also told him to no is the best thing you can say. When you say no, you have to mean it and stick to your convictions. How are you telling this person that no means no that you're sexually assaulting and you're not taking no as an answer?
Okay, so can we ask a few questions? Because if you read that article, he was going back to Tyler Perry's crib multiple times.
That is always the case.
I know that. But we talking about boys now. We're not talking about girls.
That's fucked up.
We talking about boys.
Because men can go through the same thing.
We can, but you going back to that man's house every time?
He felt like he had to go there so he could keep his job.
Again, not trying to say.
He felt like he wouldn't have been in a good position if he didn't.
Not trying to victim blame.
That's exactly what you're trying to do.
I'm not trying to victim. I'm
You're
just trying to I'm highlighting. I'm trying to highlight a fact here. He continued to go back to this man's house after multiple uncomfortable situations with this gentleman.
The actual problem is you niggas, regardless of sexual orientation, be disappointing as a motherfucker. Oh my God. Why do you what is with all these white men? What is going on? It was Jerrod Carmichael. We had to sit there through 12 episodes of him on HBO Max talk about how much he loves white peen. That was uncomfortable. And I'm an ally. Ally. Not for that though. Okay? And then the other day, we've been dealing with Tyler talking about he wants to make out with white boys forever. What about the Black Kings, Tyler? And then Kaytranada the other day on Twitter, he deleted his whole Twitter account, ran him off the X. Okay, posted a picture from the white man's perspective. He's laying in bed. It's 2 white feet next to your beautiful black face, king. 2 white feet. The feet upon the horse that whipped your ancestors are now next to your face on the bed. Deleted his Twitter account. I'm tired of you niggas.
I told you what it is when it comes to that. They want to violate their oppressor. So they see when they act upon, that's the only reason they keep going to this, because I just don't think we're going to be seeing these situations if they're finding fellow black lovers. I think that this right here was a play. I don't know how Tyler could not see that. This man was not interested in you in any capacity. And yet instead of taking it as, hey, I need to back off of you, you took it as, oh, I need to continue. I need to still shower you with more so you can provide this affection that you're not showing anyone else.
And then there was another situation that was super aggressive in the TMZ article where he was at his house and then Tyler grabbed him by the neck and was like, oh, you just got excited, didn't you?
Yo, Tyler is sick, young.
No, I'm literally scared, and I've never been drier in my entire life. Have you seen Tyler Perry?
Some of them white boys be into that though.
That's not someone who sows sexual desire from you.
I don't know how the gay community views him, because wouldn't he be considered a black bear? He'd be a bear kind of guy, right?
I don't know what he would be considered. He just
also
gets corny.
They said that Tyler was out, allegedly seen with another white companion. So maybe that Derek got a little jealous because he got replaced.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying.
He said, "You're not about to out twink me."
That's what I'm saying. Is we just can't take this at full face value, because we know that this man has been hiding the fact that something we all knew. He was a homosexual. And I think that is where the actual big blow up in this is, where he's kind of exposing something that was kind of like the black secret. We know Tyler, funny guy, but he gonna keep a nice.
He caters to the black church community. That's the community that'll ride for him.
But that funny shit, they don't like that when you break the wrist.
No, black people will forgive you for everything but homosexuality. You could beat a woman up. You could sexually assault fucking teenagers.
Yeah, the line is easy.
But if you can make good music, they'll let all that slide. But if you're gay,
no, we can't.
Even if it's consensual,
can't let that fly over here.
Out of here.
Not that funny guy shit.
Who's out of here because he was dating trans people. Oh no, he was just
Bobby
rumored.
Valentino.
No, Bobby Valentino. He was actually but I was thinking about Chingy or Ja Rule.
That happened with Chingy. Remember we talked about that?
Yeah, and then she came out and was like, I lied about it.
Yeah, remember we talked about that.
But his career was already done because he was rumored to have liked trans women.
I mean, that was before the internet, and you can kind of go out and make a real statement about it. But yeah, I mean, the homophobia is insane. But at the same time, I don't feel like this is to me, in a way, it doesn't feel like this is actually a homosexual thing, because I feel like as a straight man, I like a variety of women. I'm not just saying I like one type of woman. I think only one type of woman is the only type of woman, even though you are my top tier queen on my pedestal.
Okay.
But my point is to say that when you only going after one demographic, are you really gay, or you just have an affection for white butt? You get what I'm saying? If these guys that are black and homosexual are going solely for Caucasian males to interact with, are you really a gay guy, or are you just into white butt?
No, you're gay. You're gay.
I mean, you're gay, but it's you're gay.
What do you mean?
Gay.
What are you trying to ask?
What I'm saying, you're gay because of the action of being homosexual, But I mean,
no, you're gay.
There needs to be some more introspection in this because we need to have this conversation.
There does not need to be intersectionality in gay sex.
Not intersectionality. I said introspection. We need to go and investigate this. We need to understand. Like, I think that there is something into that where it's not just an affection for men or wanted to have connection to men. It is something about a white body, a male
like
white
the
body.
opposite of bug breaking, like
Yes.
the flip.
Yeah, they trying to flip it
Do
up.
you not think that these men are still gay though?
I think Jerrod Carmichael is.
Yeah.
But
he literally posted a video of him sucking toes. Like, oh my God, I will never support that man ever again. I'm so sorry.
I think they're in a different scope because I think when I say somebody's gay, because I remember when I was a little boy, I was listening to the radio and this guy said, "I'm gay, but I'm not a homosexual."
What does that mean?
And what he said was, I have relationships, like I'm in relationships with men, I partner with men, but I don't have sex with men. So I think there's a way where that can be in reverse, where you have sex with men, but your relationship is not something you engage with. You don't engage in relationships with other men.
So that is something that happens a lot, like with women. And that is just homophobia. It's literally just homophobia. It's internalized homophobia. It's a step. I think I'm not gay and I'm not a psychologist by any means, but I feel like it might be a step in your coming out process.
I don't feel like just because you sleep with something, that's something you want to be in a socialized relationship with, an open and view relationship. I think we have made sex and relationships feel like they're supposed to be like synonymous, but I don't think that somebody could want to have a life where they are with a woman and have a family and kids and stuff like that, but they enjoy sleeping with a particular type of individual or type of people.
If it's not homosexuality, what is it?
Well, I mean, if you're sleeping with them, it's homosexuality. But
that's what I'm saying.
I said gay. Remember, I was saying I don't think it's gay in our socialized.
What is the difference?
Because I think gay is when you merge the two. You have relationships with men and you sleep with them.
Okay, well that's stupid.
I'm just trying to wake it up, man. I'm just trying to explore.
Like
I'm trying to go deeper into it.
We're breaking things up that don't need to be broken up whatsoever. The words are already the words that have meaning for reasons.
They do, but
like we don't need to assign you nuance that only you subscribe to. I don't think it has to be me.
I'm trying to wake up a new subscription. I'm trying to get a new subscription model out here. We need to explore what is making these men go after white butt. Because it might be contagious and I don't want to catch it.
It's the same thing that makes the same men go after white pussy.
But that makes sense to me. So I'm trying to figure out where.
So it's the same shit.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Okay, maybe.
That's why it's so disappointing because all you niggas is trash. Like just the weakest links. Even if you're gay. That's crazy. I'm not your ally.
Well, I think the reason why they don't do it is because what's going to happen to you is like what happened to Dwight Howard, because he was messing with the black gay guy and he went straight to the authorities when shit got crazy.
What happened with that?
With Dwight?
Yeah.
I believe he dropped the charges, but he dropped the charges.
But like we just stopped talking about that altogether.
Yeah, Dwight is fighting demons. Like that's the real thing that's going on. That's why he was fighting in the Big Three. So I don't know if y'all seen, there was a clip of Dwight and Lance Stevenson, the gentleman from Brooklyn who got his butt whooped by Mike Beasley. And they got into like a real big like pushing and shoving match at the Big Three, which if I don't know if y'all are familiar with that, that's Ice Cube's basketball league that happens during the summer. And generally it's like ex-players and sometimes they have like street ball legends and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But it's known to be a physical game and guys talk a lot of trash and it gets really competitive. But this weekend, it kind of went over the line.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say if it's like a element of street ball involved in it, then that would make sense that it's a little bit more aggressive and there's a lot of shit talking involved.
No, there's like a lot of fouls and there's a lot of
because that's what
big
you
time
you
trash
talk.
See you want to go see that. Yeah, but then it got excessive because like they end up like spilling into the crowd, falling into the crowd, pushing on each other.
So who was fighting? Dwight Howard and who?
Dwight Howard and Lance Stevenson.
Okay,
that's the one who kind of got really ugly.
It was just those two.
No, it was more than that. That's what I say. It got to a point now where folks were pushing out the commentary. Oh, look at the black men who wouldn't do this in the white league doing this at the black league and causing a ruckus.
That's exactly what I thought initially when you told me the story. I was like, why would you go to the black event to show your black ass? Like, have some respect for your community and your peers.
See, and I understand that perspective, but at the same time, that's why I said context matters. I said Dwight is fighting gay demons. So he is battling a lot of that. I'm pretty sure he's hearing it in the crowd. Pretty sure people talking and chirping.
Oh yeah, if I'm in a street ball competition game with Dwight Howard, I'm gonna be all dick in the booty ass nigga.
Yeah,
I'm
at least once. At least once.
Yeah.
The Dwight around your lip ass nigga.
Seven times.
You gonna hit him with a Dwight around your lip ass nigga.
I'm gonna be like, whoa, like I'm gonna be wildin'.
You gonna walk by and be like, I ain't never seen a gay nigga this big. And then Lance hasn't made a good decision in his life since he didn't re-sign with Indiana. So I mean, this guy's brother's been going through it. So I understand. Then you just got your butt kicked in the one-on-one game. Your pride is not anywhere close to where you want it to be. You just a ticking time bomb.
Okay, so the one-on-one game that just happened, we talked about that. That was the one that was sexually very aggressive towards the other man?
That's his teammate on this big three, actually. They are teammates.
So the one that was being sexually aggressive towards the other man is the one that lost or won?
The one.
Okay. Damn. So that
so he got violated in the one-on-one. Now you going to the big three. And now this other big gay nigga is pushing up all on you, pushing you around. You might get scared.
I low-key wish it was that other man.
Nah, he was up, but him and Dwight was pushing each other too.
Okay. The amount of I would pay to hear the what type of shit talking he was doing on that court to Dwight Howard.
I'll show it to you when we finish the show.
Oh my God. Because
it
was so creative. He was so aggressive, but it was like in cursive.
No, it was funny because you could just tell the difference of what it looked like from somebody to be a winner and be in this situation, being pushed around, talking shit to, and being a loser. And having that on you, feeling this like almost like regret pulling on to you because it's like everybody's joking about you, that you lost, you got your butt kicked. And then this big boy just pushing you around. And you know, if it get crazy, he might be able to yoke you up and do things.
He definitely will. And then this man just told you he was gonna make love to you.
So people think you sweet out here. And what they say in the prison, what you supposed to do? Find the biggest nigga and knock him out. So that's what Lance was trying to do. Yeah. So that's why I'm trying to show them brothers grace. But Steven Jackson, my nigga.
If I ever go to jail, I'm finding the biggest stud. I'm riding her face.
Oh, that's not how that's going. You're going to be cleaning her clothes and all that stuff real quick. But we need to get into the other person who really was, I think, caused the biggest ruckus. And it was just like, bro, you got to really grow up. It's Steven Jackson. He, former pacer. He was actually in the brawl, the Malice in the Palace that happened.
Yes.
He was actually a part of that.
I do. I remember watching that.
He was the second dude that went into the stand with Ron Artest. He gets into it. Starts talking all this.
Just like
that's all he knows.
Fighting.
That's all he knows. He think just because he did
He's
the
funny too though.
He thinks because he was part of the George Floyd shit. Now he just get immunity to do whatever he wants.
That was his cousin.
That was his friend, not his cousin.
They look like cousins.
It's just ever since then, I just feel like he's only just taking. Well, people used to say that to him. I just think ever since then, people
mean the whole George Floyd around situation.
Jesus, I just think ever since then, a lot of that. He's always been this kind of roughneck guy. Yeah. And I just think ever since then, he just got more emboldened. And he just gives some of the worst advice as a black man. He
gives crash out advice.
Oh, 100%. He was talking about how he checked in at O Block. Like he was bragging about that. Like that was an accomplishment.
Yeah. Like, why are you even over there?
And this is where I hate.
You stay on the white side of town where it's safe.
No, he really wants to be out in the street with niggas. Like to me, it's ridiculous.
That nigga got white in his beard. What do you mean you want to be out in the streets?
He don't care. He got the salt and pepper. And this gentleman like this, Adam Pac-Man Jones, just a guys who just try to act like they're still young, like they're still in their like early 20s, and they push a brand of black men that I feel like is problematic to the youth because it encourages, like you said, the crash out behavior. It doesn't show a growth and maturity because they're still living like how they are in their youth because they made a lot of money playing a sport. So I can't be mad at how they living. It's just when you get pushed up front like a leader like he has in a big time situation like that, for you to continue to carry yourself in such a poor manner, it's just not conducive to the actual goal that we want to see from people in your position. And again, I understand these guys didn't come from much. You know, they got an opportunity to make a lot of money playing sport, and that conditioning doesn't change from you, especially when you don't make a concerted effort for it.
So after I thought about it a little bit, I was like, where should you be able to show your black ass if not a black space?
It can't be with the white cameras around, though.
No, like if there's a safe space for you to show your black ass, it should be a black space, right?
I mean, I can agree with that sentiment, yes.
And we should have more grace for our black brothers and sisters if they want to show said ass.
I would agree with that if one point. If Ice Cube was also being funded by 100% black sponsors, or at least 90% black sponsors. Once we get into that, this no longer becomes a black event because we're funded by white money, and they have white ads that are going to be playing on this white channel. And if we aren't conducive for that, now we're going to be saying, oh, well, look, they don't want us to shine. They don't want us to yada, yada. And then you go on the fucking internet and get 3 cents a fucking view or whatever, and you upset about the splits on that. So it's just, if you want to see us grow and actually have opportunities for these guys post their career to not, go from making millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars to nothing, which I think this is a beautiful thing for that.
Yeah.
That assists you with your transition, still keeps you active, keep you talking about in the sport, allows you to build a brand and a network.
I wish they had something like that for the football players instead of killing their wives. Like,
it's hard to do it for football.
Yeah, because they brain stems be like bent.
They
like
got
the brain just be smushing around in their skulls like that.
They got a 37 under league, right? Where it's grown men who got work on Monday playing football on the field with
bad knees,
with pads on, tackling each other hard. Real shit. Like, I'm talking about, this ain't covered under their insurance or nothing.
Who do you think doesn't let go of their heyday more? Like, who do you think holds on to their glory years more aggressively, men or women?
Oh, men for sure. Especially if it's like highly athletic based. Oh, for sure, men.
I feel like, yeah, but women do that same shit too. Like all of the surgery and stuff, trying to stay young.
See, I think that's
try to live vicariously through their daughters if they have one.
See, I think that I look at that a little differently because women youth is viewed as a lot more valuable. So
I'm not gonna be okay. I'm not gonna be okay. Like when I start wrinkling.
Oh my goodness.
First of all, Botox immediately. I'm not gonna age. I'm not aging gracefully.
You gonna fight back?
I'm fighting back with every fiber of my being. I'm changing my lifestyle so I don't age. I started working out so I don't age. So I age like not as quickly, you know?
That was the only...
Everything I do for my health is about vanity. It's not about longevity. I could give a damn about if these things are actually keeping me healthy. Do I look good?
Not even feel good.
I look good?
Just look.
That's it. If it has like other positive effects, icing on the cake. The cake is vanity.
All right, so I got a clip for us to play. I think it fits in the vanity conversation that you had. We got to understand, man, when you go into the world of professional baby mamaism, like you can't be upset that the main job is being a mama. I think that's a little wild. 2 rappers and an NFL player. 3
famous baby daddies.
So she's not on Drea level. She, Drea got NBA, NFL, baby daddies. But this is top tier. But she's upset. So I want to let y'all hear her out.
Tired, y'all. It's like having 2 kids is one thing. Having 3 is like having 10. The babies is where they at. I need a break. Shy is with her dad. Hendrix is...
Not with his fucking daddy.
Mom.
We know
so
that.
Hard to manage a business and make sure I'm overseeing that Instagram. Someone says stop having them if you're tired. Good one.
Oh, she hurt.
Shut up. People be tired without kids. Like, what are you talking about?
And again, I understand.
I thought that there was going to be more to this clip.
she's just
you just hate women. And
how
you
I
hate that
hate
she
it.
a bad bitch.
I don't
that
hate
got
it.
pregnant by 3 rich niggas.
I don't see where's the problem of any complaining for it. Hold it down.
Like, she can be tired. She got 3 kids.
But you understand that you are not
Like,
just
I
a
can
normal lady.
complain.
Yes, to your friends.
I can still complain.
To your friends. Why does this on the
Like,
internet?
What do you mean?
You gotta understand.
There's so many things that I see on the internet that I don't give a fuck about. Be like in its core. I also don't give a fuck about this, but I don't think it's that crazy.
This is why I had to ask the question: do women ever think, am I qualified to handle this position? Because when you are with a high-profile individual like this, where
She not with none of them niggas.
You have a kid with him, you're with them. Like, regardless of what you want to say, you're with them. When you're with a high-profile individual like this and have a child with a high-profile individual like this, anything you say or do on the internet gets attached back to them.
Well, it doesn't matter what you attach to Future.
It's not even just Future, because if you got a problem with Future,
Bow Wow, love you, but general consensus is he's a lame ass nigga. Don't matter what you put on his jacket either.
this one nigga is like
So that's 2 out of 3 out the window. Don't matter. Who's the other one?
Trayvon Diggs.
Don't even know who that man is.
That man is Stephon Diggs' brother.
So which one is famous?
What do you mean? Which one is famous?
Stephon.
He plays in the NFL too. He's
So
a
they're
cowboy.
both in the NFL.
Yeah, he's a cowboy.
Oh, shout out to y'all mom and daddy.
My only point to this is that too much is given, much is tested. So when you are getting 4 figures a month from each baby daddy in child support, like, you gotta hold it down.
I mean, like, you don't have shit to complain about, girl. You really don't. I agree with that. But she has a phone and Wi-Fi. She can pick up her phone and come on the internet and say whatever the fuck she want to say.
Man, write a book of fiction. Like, tell somebody a fake story about your life. Do something that you could sell, not this. That's all I'm asking. Be better, please. There's a lot of women who want to be you for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, she has.
Yeah, I'm the 4-figure child support check. So yeah, I'm pretty sure why a lot of women want to take. That's sad. Shoot higher, please.
And then, like, she don't really be in the mix too much. Like, she just be having the babies.
She be having the babies, but she be trying to do a little something, make shit shake. Cause she tried to do her little business stuff here and there.
She's a professional dancer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She tried to do her business stuff every once in a while.
She be doing the sexy dances and the heels. She be killing shit. I mean,
well,
like, that's why they keep shooting the club.
Yeah,
up. That's why.
That's your skill.
She could do a backflip into a split in heels. Like, that lady is in there doing tricks. She deserves every cent she gets. She worked hard for it.
She earned it. Do you think you could pull it, like, if as a woman, do you think a woman thinks that if I have 3 successful baby daddies like that the world is like, whoever my next one is it's going to be on the same caliber regardless? Or do you think that she now thinks like, okay, I kind of got lucky?
No, I don't think she's thinking she got lucky.
Okay.
I think she's like, this is
she got it down to a science.
Yeah. Obviously.
She got to write a book. That's what I'm saying. Write a book. Stop talking on the internet.
Right. She got to wait till she at least like 65 to write a book. She got to wait till Shy, her first daughter, with Bow Wow. She got to wait till Shy at least like 25, something like something that's a little bit less embarrassing for her child.
I think it's too,
you can't put
late.
out the whole book manual.
It's too late. We going to Cowboy games. They playing Future, and it's all too much. We might as well just bring it out. Let us all know what's going on. Because they gonna say, regardless of what you do it or not, they made you. So you might as well just make sure they know it.
Mm-hmm. Might as well use it to your advantage, girl.
She over there don't even act like she know where Hendrix was. That was crazy.
Well, I think she was trying to find her words.
Oh, okay.
Because she said that Shy is with her father, which she always is. Bow Wow is a very active father. She said Hendrix is, in her head, not with that bitch ass nigga because he don't take care of his goddamn kids. But she couldn't say that because that's not her vibe. Like, that's not her thing. That's not in her ministry. So she was like, what am I gonna say? What am I gonna say? So she paused for a second. She was like, this nigga ain't shit. I hate him. But she was like, and Hendrix is somewhere.
He's here. I'm somewhere. I promise you. I can assure you.
Not with his bitch ass daddy. That's what she said in her head.
That's sick, man. Shout out to Hendrix, man. Future Hendrix. All right. Hold on. I want to play this clip here, and I want to see how you'll react to this, and then I have another statement to say.
Do you think race mixing should be illegal?
What do you mean?
Like mixing races, like a black person, white person having children, like an Asian and a Mexican.
Yeah. Should it be illegal or legal? Should it be legal or evil?
Illegal.
Oh, no. No.
Why not?
I love my chocolate, man. Everyone loves who they love. I mean.
So you're a mud shark.
Oh, what?
You're a mud shark?
A mud shark is crazy. No.
You said you like chocolate men.
Okay.
So you're a mud shark.
No. I like everybody, but I like my chocolate man.
Wait, why should race mixing be legal if the child is more likely to turn out?
That's a statistic.
Yes.
From what source?
I hate when you play rage baity shit and then want us to have like a serious conversation about it. It really irritates my entire being. Take it away.
Well, the reason why I asked is
I can't.
Because the reason why I asked is because somebody tweeted this, and I wanted you to see what you thought. He said, "White men are the black women of Western men."
And then somebody replied with another rage baity ass comment. What do you mean, white men? Oh, okay. So he's saying that Western women.
No, white men.
Western women prefer black men, so that white men are the black women because they're the least desired. So in this instance, y'all acknowledge that black women are the least desired when you need to make a fucking point. I hate you niggas.
But the reason why that resonated a little bit in regards to what my thought process is because I remember one time, right, when I was in college, we went out with these girls that we worked with, and it was some other black guys and some white girls. And the way that they like gelled together, it was such a weird thing seeing in real time. Like it was like having the desirability from that factor because it's like what we've been conditioned to like. So when you think of a man, what was the old phrase even from back in the day?
Tall, dark, and handsome.
Who falls right into that?
Black men.
So then when you think of women,
when white women say that though, they're
talking about a tan, but I know what you said.
Like Italian.
But even then now that's still moved on to being a type of black desirable man that white women will say they want to go after. Black men also see in the news, in the media, what do you flowing hair, fair skin, those things are desirable traits. So when you see them together, it's almost like you're getting this completion of what society tells you is what you want to desire for. And then when you see with black women and white men, what's the thing? They're told that white men are told, oh, you're inferior sexually to black men. You can't compete with them and who they are. And so what do you have to do? You have to go and work and do all these other things to be able to compete with your counterpart. And I just think there's, at least how we socialize in that way, I think there is some ground to have that conversation because I think black women have a relatability to white men in that regard. Are we going too deep? Am I taking us there?
You're not going too deep because this doesn't make any fucking sense.
Okay,
like,
speak on it.
White men are still in a position of power.
No one say they're not.
White men are still, like, when it comes to like general attractiveness and desirability, maybe there's like one part of the country or maybe a small group of white women who want to get some black dick before they settle down with a white man, but they're still going to settle down with a white man.
I'm not saying that that's not the case. I think
like, what are we actually talking about? You are trying to say that white men and black women have some sort of shared experience, maybe
from desirability from their partners.
If you intersect a bunch of fucking things at the bottom of the barrel, probably yes.
I just think,
but it's not wide enough. It's not applicable enough for us to even have a notable or conversation about it at all.
I think there's.
You're just doing your funny haha. I think it's good content.
I think there's meat on that bone.
But I don't think there's any meat on that bone whatsoever.
I think when we just talk about desirability
from their partner, I think black women and Asian men have more of a conversation and
The
more of a
AWAM?
shared experience about what you're specifically talking about.
Mm-hmm. I think-
100%, but
I
not
think-
white men.
I think there's some words there, but I know what you're talking about with the AWAMs, the African American women, Asian man.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that before too. I've read some studies on that as well.
Yeah, because
I just-
Asian men amongst men are the least desirable, and African American women amongst women are the least desirable. So if you wanna make that comparison, then across the board, statistically, number wise, everything matches up better with like an Asian man being that for us instead of a white man. I don't think it's a white man at all. I think you're just like saying words.
I think there's room to find this out, man. Especially when we just see the behaviors of when they see us with that other partner, both of them. I think there's a lot of meat there, man. I think there's something to be explored. Something to be explored. I've seen it in real time.
Okay, Dora, like we not exploring it though.
I've seen it in real time. I feel like my opinion on white people are a little different from yours because you have like a very like small shelf of white figures in your life. So like I feel like I've been around enough white people.
You've been around too many.
To validate.
Too many.
Why do you act like you've seen me around a bunch of white people?
You've been around. You went to Australia.
I thought that was flawed.
Land of the whites.
No, it's not. They took that area.
Okay, but
Europe, I went to United Kingdoms, and Europe is land of the whites. They can have that. Not giving them Australia. White man came and took my land. Aborigines sang that to me. And I told them me too. Okay, I have some more things.
I'm like, I don't know what to say to you.
I have some more things that I have to get off, man. It's just a lot of behaviors that are just unbecoming of men. And I see a group of men who keep just being able to get the benefit of doubt. Pusha T right now, you're on my list. I don't like this behavior. And I think if anybody else was acting like this, a lighter skinned man, if you will, we would not be sitting here saying Pusha T is a real one. Oh, he out here exposing shit.
All right, so Pusha T released a single today, and he dissed Travis Scott on it. He dissed Travis Scott because Travis Scott came into a session. Mm-hmm. And yeah, well, I'm a little bit confused about the session part, but I know that Pusha had a song that he was doing with Travis or something like that. And then eventually
I got
a Drake
excerpt
verse
right
was added onto that song, and Drake was dissing Pharrell, and Pusha and Pharrell are both from Virginia. They like this, they brothers, and have been for forever. So that was seen as weird as hell by Pusha.
I got the explanation part of it right here. So he interrupted the session. We weren't into the music, but he wanted to play it, wanted to film us listening to it. And then a week later, you hear Meltdown, which he didn't play. He played the song, but not Drake's verse.
Yeah.
So then he goes into this idea of no pics, no loyalty, all this other stuff.
That's so weird that like you tried to get content of us listening to this song with us not knowing that a Drake verse would be on it, knowing that like we are on the other side. So then when this song came out with Drake's verse and then you put out this reaction of us listening to this song, it would make it seem like we knew that Drake's verse was on there and we thought that this shit was hard, putting me as this is my man's, putting me in a weird position with him for a little bit, because after you talk it over, it's going to be done. But like, you're putting me in a weird position. You making me look like a weird ass nigga with weird morals because you making it seem like I sat there and listened to your man's diss my nigga. That's weird. And
then what more information came out, DJ Act reported that Drake verse didn't come in till last minute after that song and after that listening session. Mm-hmm. So he wasn't aware that Drake was going to actually.
It was
give
just
that
the fact that Travis was recording. Mm-hmm. Like if he wasn't recording, blah blah, and nobody knew of this, then that would be different. But you're recording this to eventually put it out at some point in time.
I don't think he ever did.
I don't know.
See, that's what I'm saying. Where like to me,
because he did put out that documentary or whatever. We don't know what was gonna make it in, what wasn't gonna make it in.
And again, I understand the hindsight 2020 of it when you add into all of these things and the verse being added and whatnot. But the mere fact that when Drake went out and was calling niggas out who were being disloyal, it was lame. It was, oh, that nigga weak, that nigga's a sucker. But when this brother do it, it's a whole different. He was talking about LeBron. The whole conversation around LeBron and what LeBron was doing and moving. He was saying like LeBron wasn't being loyal, and niggas said he was lame for trying to put LeBron in the middle of it. Which, cool. I said the same thing. I said it was lame. I feel like this Pusha shit is the same thing.
No, it's not, because Pharrell is already very obviously on Kendrick's side, because Kendrick also said, don't talk about this man.
Yeah, but we talking about what Push did.
So no, it's you're trying to say it's the same as this other thing, and it's not.
Okay, explain.
What did you say? Who was the same?
I said that it was when Drake was upset about how LeBron was moving.
So you saying that I'm upset about how you moving is different from like you putting me in a situation where it seems like I'm moving weird.
And again, that's where that perception is cool. But if that event hasn't transpired where I put out content that made it look like you was jamming to this song, which again, I haven't seen anything of it. In any of his statements, he's not saying that happened. To me, that is lame because the offense that would be the violation has not occurred.
Niggas hold on to footage for God knows how long. And they've had a relationship for a long time. They're going to have a relationship for a long time. It would do the same amount of damage if Travis put that footage out 10 years from now.
And everybody already know Travis is flugazy anyway, because we seen what he did during the Like That shit. So it wasn't like no necessary needs for you to be the one to call out. Because everybody keeps saying, Pusha T, he's such an amazing hater. He's the all-time greatest hater. And I'm just like, bro, if he wasn't who he was, if he didn't look the way that he looked, y'all would not give him a pass. None of this behavior would be cool.
I don't think so. I think it's a lot of niggas who are principal men, and this is something that's a principal matter. But
we know that's not the case because we've already seen the bars that he was using against Travis could easily apply to Kanye. You lost your girl to Calabasas? That didn't only just happen to Travis.
He said you lost your pride and your girl to Calabasas.
So that only didn't happen to Travis. Mm-hmm. That happened to there are things that you're criticizing other niggas of, and you're not.
Does Pusha T and Kanye not have?
They've been literally. That's where the Drake and stuff. Remember, that's where the
do they not have beef now?
No, they've still been cool.
Was Ye not tweeting about Pusha T and saying fuck him?
And Pusha still held him down.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying this behavior is not of men, and we are allowing things to occur that we wouldn't hold other brothers to the same fire to.
If I'm a rapper and I think you moving weird, I'm a put it in the bars, and I'm gonna be like, this nigga was weird in the music because you're a rapper, and that's what you're supposed to do. Yeah, and that's my opinion on that.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is cool. Just do that with all the niggas, even when they going crazy, or even when they signed your checks, even when they put you on. Do that with them too. That's all I ask. Let's be consistent, please. All right, we got some Stephen A. stuff to get into, man. This brother right here, I think this is gonna make you sick hearing this, because it made me. The unmitigated gall. It was just so asinine.
I look at Memphis as being a city that, you know, with a lot of black folks in a red state. That's a tough position to be in. That's just a fact when we're talking about Memphis. But the mayor of Memphis made a comment speaking up for the city and invited me to come. Sir, I have friends in the city of Memphis, longtime friends that I've known for decades, and I'm in Memphis quite frequently. I know a little thing or two about Memphis, so let me get that out of the way first. But in fairness to the mayor, Mr. Paul Young of Memphis, Tennessee, I want to throw this out there, and I thought it was important. Total crimes have decreased by 13.3%. Violent crimes have dropped by 19%. Poverty crimes have fallen by 20%. Total homicide rates have fallen as well in the year 2024. Okay, so when you're talking about that, violent crimes, we're talking about robberies has decreased. So all of that sounds good because it's moving in the right direction, but it's still recognized as one of the worst cities in America, to the point where the head of the FBI has called it the murder capital of this country per capita. That's on the record saying that. This is just weeks ago. What are we talking about here? The poverty rate is at 24.5%. In terms of their national ranking, it consistently ranks within the top 10 most impoverished large cities in the United States of America. Big one here, Molly, Doggy, Wendy. 40% of the children in Memphis live in poverty.
I hate
when we're talking about all of those things and you're talking about the troubles that exist, These are the kind of things that contribute to the city being deemed by some within the NBA community as unattractive.
Let me just give a little backstory. So what happened is Ja Morant is obviously the guard for the Memphis Grizzlies, and there's been just discussion around trading him. Would they be able to get other players to come to the city? And Stephen A. put up to the fact that, hey, there are players who are essentially scared to go to Memphis because they wouldn't feel safe. So he reacts. People talk about, hey, that's not the case. He brings up Jimmy Butler, and he says this. So were you about to say something?
I was going to say, I just hate when people talk about black cities being poor without talking about the disenfranchisement that led to that city being poor.
No, that's 100% in regards to that. There's another clip I want to add to this.
The city. I want to be protective of the cities because I love my peeps. And the bottom line is that I think the citizens in Memphis, I think a lot better.
His forehead is so large. It's so large that it's distracting. Oh my God. Like this man, like he has to be East African somehow.
Done for them. And Ja Morant staying put and being the galvanizing force that he can be, I think will assist in that. That's what I was trying to say. I apologize if anybody was offended by it, but facts are facts. There are concerns in that city. And as a black man in this country who cares about my peeps, I'll be damned if I'm going to be silent when all of these troubles are taking place, although things appear to be getting better statistically anyway. Still a problem.
So no, and again, my problem with this is when you're going off of these statistics and you're having this conversation around it, you're ignoring, like you said, the root of why a lot of this stuff is happening, and then you don't even go into the fact that what we've discussed that was going on in Memphis about all the violations with Elon Musk's company, where you have folks treating the city like it's not important. If it's the black portion and the poor portion, cool, we'll do whatever we want. And
it's like the throwaway.
And then you ask yourself, why do we have this crime when you don't have a community that invests in people?
Yeah.
And far too often we keep painting this as this issue of culture and it, you know what? It is an issue of culture. It's a culture of not valuing people. And that's what you get.
You can't bootstrap your way out of generational poverty. Like it's extremely difficult.
Especially when farther the jobs that become available require more and more of a different type of education level or experience that requires money and training and time and just aptitude. And when you're not getting that built early on, what do you expect is going to happen? These are the results that you're going to get. We are not investing in people and in these schools. We're just cutting programs. We're just cutting avenues for actually seeing a better life. And then we don't even treat the people who are working, trying to do the best. They're very much no difference.
Yeah.
So
they don't get paid a livable wage, barely get health insurance, co-pays high as shit. If there's one emergency, you're homeless. Most people in the United States are one emergency away from being homeless. Most people in the United States have less than $6,000 in their savings account.
And I think the thing with Stephen A. and why I get what he's trying to say, because again, he's trying to be a politician. You know, he's exploring that option moving forward. So I get how he's trying to explain, but when you highlight those statistics, you're not really going to the root of the issue, and it's only going to be used to say black people are the problem, which regardless of what people want to believe, what the content they consume, that is not the case. It is not black people being the problem. It's lack of opportunities. Also, when you go into these inner cities, there are other folks from other countries putting hits out on people for drugs and for commerce and whatnot. So you have this environment where these men are only given an opportunity to say either go to this rundown, maybe get a promotion one day gig, or I can make a lot of money really fast doing some nefarious behavior.
Yeah, and you can't even go to the local factory and get a quick job no more because they're not in the United States anymore.
Or if they are, they're paying for a particular type of high skill. You have to be able to do that. Or even if you do find some decent work, it's not paying you enough to feel like it's worth coming. It might be more expensive for you to get to work than what you'll probably make at the end of those 2 weeks.
Depends on if your city has public transportation that's sufficient enough for you.
Yeah, because we talking about Memphis. It's a red state. It's not like it's going to have the great transportation that at least is available in major cities.
And it's the same here in Georgia. If you live in Atlanta, then there's trains and there's public transportation for you. But if you live anywhere outside of Atlanta and you need to work in Atlanta, it's impossible. Impossible. Like, from where I used to live, from where I used to work, if I were to take public transportation the entire time, it would be a 15-minute walk or 20-minute walk to a bus that's then another like half an hour ride to then transfer to another bus that's another 15 minutes to then transfer to the train that would then get me into the city.
Mm-hmm.
Like, absolutely insane.
And then even just trying to get to the train when we was just in the apartment, that would be at least 20 minutes from where we were,
in smack in the middle of the city of Atlanta.
Yeah, so it would take, because I remember when I looked at trying to go to work on a bus, and it was just like I had to get up earlier, way early. It wasn't even like it was like an hour early. It was like 2.5 hours earlier.
Yes, it's a
just
trek
to get on there. And then hopefully we don't know the bus gonna be on time because it's not always that reliable.
And then I've seen people standing at bus stops and the bus is just whizzing right past them.
Don't even stop. Keep it moving.
And then it's not like the buses and the trains are conveniently timed like they are in New York, like every 10 minutes, every 5 minutes, every 20 minutes, every 25 minutes. You miss one, you're late, period.
And that's how I'm pretty sure.
And then you're fired.
And then I'm pretty sure Memphis is a very similar. I'm pretty sure there's less resources and transportation.
Yeah, so I don't like these types of conversations. If you don't want to like talk about the entire nuance and all of the factors that lead to this area being so poor and disenfranchised, and you just want to blame the people for being lazy and black, like it's not a conversation I need to have with you.
And then the highlighting of crime, and then trying to use other affluent black men who are in the league to kind of justify the accusations. And again, they do have a level of fear, but it gets real crazy when your white counterpart Bill Simmons goes out and says, I walk around Memphis all the time. I feel safe all the time. So you see this idea of you, Stephen A., that's going to get painted as, oh, you're going to demonize black cities, highlight the poor behavior that may be going on there, and then act like, oh, I'm trying to be better for everybody, when all you did was just spit on the city. And
you didn't do nothing positive.
And like you shitted on, like, I don't want to say he did shit on it. It felt as though that you were talking negative even about the improvements.
Yes. Because it was like all of this happened, but niggas still don't want to go there because it's dangerous. But all of that happened.
And that was the thing where it's like you highlighted the perception of it. And then you highlighted also the FBI saying, after looking at the metrics over time, that has to happen over time. They can't just say per capita just because. You have to look at the numbers. When the police say that, you highlight this moment when there has been major steps to improve. And then if you even just ask maybe a few questions about what's going on in the city, they'll tell you what was highlighting a lot of that violence.
Yeah, cartel wars and shit.
And the music. When you have guys who are involved in both of that kind of industries, where those two bleed into each other. So we can get into a little bit of that, because your girl is lying. Angela Simmons is a liar. And I want y'all to understand that. I'm going to play this clip. I'm not playing the whole thing because it's extremely long. I don't know why she was talking this long about it. But she sat down with Angie Martinez and she revealed her current status with boyfriend Yo Gotti.
Before love. Then you had another relationship.
Yeah.
Very public relationship.
Mm-hmm.
That people, it was weird because you guys shared a lot, but you didn't share a lot. Like we saw photos and we saw it happen, and people were invested because he kind of manifested it in a way.
Yeah, I think, when it comes to me in relationships, there's a lot of times people don't even see who I date, right? And with that one, it just felt special enough to share. You know what I mean? I think we both on the same page. And
girl, we always know who you dating. What do you
don't believe you have to give.
I thought that too when I first heard this.
To show that you're together, but it just felt right.
You were having fun too, it seemed like. You were having fun with it.
For sure. I think, it felt right. And like it didn't, like we both have our own thing going on. It's like, cool. Like both these worlds came together. It's cool. Like we can share it.
And you've been quiet lately. Are you guys together still or no?
No,
No.
I'm not with him.
I think she's so lame. I can't.
Yeah, not by choice, but I respect him. It's all love. Like,
it's not your choice.
I wouldn't have chose it, but it was what was best. But I wouldn't have chose it. No.
Okay.
It just sounded like she was getting cheated on and she had to leave the relationship.
That's
even
what
though she didn't want to.
That's what you got out of that?
She said, I wouldn't have chose it. She wouldn't have chose to not be with him, but it was for the best.
Are you calculating everything that's been going on with Yo Gotti?
No, I have no idea what's been going on.
We talked about this. Remember when we had Memphis Man call in and we talked about...
That was a year and a half ago.
Yeah, that's some still serious stuff that's been going on. You just was watching the clip about... Remember that white guy on TikTok was talking about Young Juke and all them?
Oh, yeah, his brother.
Yeah, so I'm saying this man is... If you don't think Yo Gotti is being investigated by the FBI, I don't know what to tell you. And that's what I think what that is. She's trying to hide that they're close to each other because she knows he's under federal investigation. And she doesn't want that to be a part of anything she got going on. Don't she got kids and stuff? That's not with him?
She has a child.
So yeah, so she has a kid, so I can imagine.
How is she trying to hide her connection with him by having a very public interview about why they broke up and then saying that she wouldn't have chosen this for them?
I think
that's not her trying to hide it.
I think that's making perfect sense of her being said like, hey, I don't know the whole, I'm not going to spill the whole beans. Also, I'm not going to stick to a lie that I know is not true. So with her, she's just saying we're not together anymore. So for anybody who's his enemy, you don't have to use me in any way to try to get to him. For anyone who's a law enforcement, you don't have to investigate me and see anything I'm doing to see if it's connected with him. That's just a public sentiment to it to say, hey, we're not together, but you can still hear in the way that she's talking. If you listen to the rest of this interview, you can hear she's with that man. She is just trying to hide to act like she's not. Because she is probably scared. He's probably scared.
Well,
a lot of stuff going
down. If
down.
that's what's going on, then that's smart. Then, like, keep yourself safe. Like, I'm not riding or dying with you. Like, period.
I think she wants to, though. Remember, she brought that gun to the...
That's why I called her lame.
She
like,
is
I
corny.
saw them pictures today, and she was holding it like this. I was like, like just.
That's
just
when
gave me secondhand embarrassment. I don't like it.
When he saw them pictures hit the web, he sat her down like Frank Lucas did in American Gangster when he found out they got caught onto him because of the fur coat. The fur coat. That's exactly how he was acting that night. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, let's just finish up, man. I didn't want to talk about this, man. But I've been consuming content about it for the whole week. The World War III is upon us, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. Israel has attacked Iran nuclear facilities, and that's not all. They're going to tell you that it's just, we attacked nuclear facilities and military. No, they attack mostly civilians. So make sure you keep that in mind when you're listening to this news.
Which is a war crime.
Wake it up. Wake it up, okay? Tons of war crimes being done, but
what is it? NATO?
NATO, yeah. Oh, NATO is the king of the war crimes. Like, NATO is,
the UN is doing absolutely nothing.
It's just I want to just wake this up before I play this clip. We want to talk about Tucker Carlson in just a moment, but I just want y'all to hear this. So this was a clip that was circulating from the U.S. General and NATO Commander Wesley Clark. And in this statement where he was talking to, looks like, it was essentially he was doing like not a TED talk, but he was just talking to a group of people. Mm-hmm. He said that they provided him 7 countries that they plan to overthrow in the next 5 years. It was Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Iran. All but Iran, governments have been toppled, regimes have changed. Even in Syria, where we put somebody who was part of Al-Qaeda.
Yeah, that's crazy. I did not know that until you told me that today. So the Syrian president used to be a member of Al-Qaeda.
And he wasn't even voted in.
No, he just took that shit.
But I want to say this.
Tyler.
Good callback. I do want to say this, though. When Tucker Carlson takes the dick out of his mouth, he can be one hell of an entertaining journalist.
Oh, I didn't do the noise. Oh, didn't do it again. Two fails.
Well, don't worry. He did a better job. He took it right out of his mouth, and when he stops parroting state propaganda, that was good.
Because I have nails.
When Tucker Carlson stops parroting state propaganda, he is one of the top tier, at least entertaining journalists. Granted, the stuff that he's still espousing in this is garbage, but it's just less garbage than the man across from Ted Cruz. You are is Israeli tool, just to say the least. So let's take a listen to this.
I don't know the population at all. No, I don't know the population. You don't know the population of the country you seek to topple?
To topple?
How many people living around? 92 million. Okay. Yeah. How could you not know that?
He said, okay, like, fuck,
I
you
don't
got me.
sit around memorizing
you knew that.
population tables. Well, it's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government. Why is it relevant whether it's 90 million or 80 million or 100 million? Why is that relevant? Because if you don't know anything about the country... I didn't say I don't know anything about the country. What's the ethnic mix of Iran? They are Persians and predominantly Shia. Okay, this is cute.
It's not even. You don't know anything about Iran. So
okay, I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government.
You're the one who
don't know anything about the country.
No, you don't know anything about the country. You're the one who claims they're not trying to murder Donald Trump.
No, it's you that doesn't.
I'm not saying that. Who can't figure out if it was a good idea to kill General Soleimani, and you said it was bad.
You don't believe they're trying to murder Trump?
Yes, I do.
Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really believe that,
we're carrying out military strikes today.
You said Israel was
right with our help. I said we. Israel is leading them, but we're supporting them.
Well, there's breaking news here because the U.S. government last night denied, the National Security Council spokesman Alex Pfeiffer denied on behalf of Trump that we were acting on Israel's behalf in any offensive capacity.
No, we're not bombing them. Israel's bombing them.
You just said we were.
We are supporting
this is
Israel.
High stakes. You're a senator. If you're saying the United States government is at war with Iran right now, people are listening.
Okay.
Got you, bitch. Got you.
I want to say this because I think it's something that is important to know here. He is highlighting real truths and real inconsistencies that our administration has always had with Israel when it comes to that. But one thing that his brand of media tries to do is they try to make Israel this scapegoat that is somewhat independent of America. I want y'all to know something very, very important. Israel is the goat skin condom that we use to fuck the Middle East with. And when I say us, I say America.
Why is the condom specifically goat skin?
Goat, sheeps, all that kind of stuff. You know, there are herders, farmers out there. So that's why I just said that.
It was the #1 thing on Google. I said, can Jewish people? The first thing was use condoms.
We are in control of everything Israel does. Israel prime minister is American. He denounced his citizenship a few times. He's American. Everything about what we do in Israel is just, they're our front-facing group in the region. For the decades that I was a young man, we actually went out to the Middle East and we did our war crimes like men. But now, through this time, well, I mean, that's what happened. We went out there America went out there and did the war crimes. Now, we will not tolerate that as a society and the citizens. We don't want to keep fighting wars in the Middle East. You keep hearing people voice that on both sides of the aisle. Nobody wants that. Mm-hmm. So now what do you have to do? Okay, we won't fight the wars, wink, wink, but we'll give our military aid to Israel, and then we'll do proxy between them. Israel is essentially they're trying to create the United States of Israel in the Middle East. That is their plan. All of this is about a lot of things, but the main stuff that they're trying to portray it is religion and all this other stuff, this hate. That's not what none of this is. All that is just for dumb people to justify this war, because it's really about these few things I'm going to explain. So here are some of the goals for the U.S.-Israel war and what's really going on. So they want to maintain the homogeneity of the area of the Middle East. Essentially, they want to stay in power and make sure that nobody else has a real influence. I'll explain more why that's important. They also want to destroy the anti-colonial axis of resistance, making it possible for total colonization of Palestine. We have already heard this asshole Trump say he's going to turn Palestine into a resort. What they need to do that is they have to take ground of Hezbollah.
They're trying to do the same things to Haiti, by the way.
Oh, for sure. They have to take down the group Hezbollah, Asa Allah, also known as the Houthis, and Iran, which are big problems for them in that area. Once they get rid of those people, then there's nobody there to protect the Palestinians that are essentially sitting ducks in their concentration camps, their open air concentration camps. Also, they want to prevent Iran from nuclear capabilities. These nuclear capabilities are not just the nuclear weapon that they threaten that they have. Iran has no nuclear weapons. Our intelligence has been saying that. The world intelligence has been saying that. The only liars have been saying that is Israeli intelligence. Because what's probably really going on in Iran is they're probably developing nuclear power. And if you think if they can bring nuclear power to the Middle East, you don't think that would change the entire globe? Not only do they have oil and crude oil, now they'll have potentially working clean energy. Come on now. They don't want that. They don't want that in the hands of brown people.
Yeah, but we don't want to pay Georgia Power no more.
We just missed an election for that too.
You.
Well, me. Also, they want to overthrow or at least weaken the Iran Independent Revolutionary Government. So if you're not aware, I think it's about 79, Iran had a revolution against the Shahi, I think that's what we are, Shahir, excuse me, basically the king that America put in place after a left-leaning nationalist who wanted to nationalize all the oil. And we were like, whoa, can't do that, big dog. We got to take you out. So we took him out, put our own leader in, and then they had their own revolution. And they've been basically since the 80s have been control of their own self-determinism, which has been, I think, a great thing so far in regards to just them trying to build and become a world power. They, as America, as Israel, they want to stop that. Because, again, the United States of Israel, that is going to be the next frontier that they want to take over. I'm going to go into that a little bit more here. They also want to scare other countries in the region that may seek to move away from the U.S. and the dollar. What a lot of people don't realize. Oh, that was crazy, right?
Yes.
They want to basically intimidate anybody else who may even think to oppose them. So what a lot of people don't realize in that last part about the dollar is back in Nixon, he worked with OPEC and Saudi Arabia to essentially make that they only sell their oil in American dollars. So what that basically means is if anywhere you go around the country, if you want to do business with them.
That changed recently, though, because of China or Russia, right?
No, China and Russia. Yep. They have
China and Russia.
They have been operating that. That's what actually China has been making moves with Iran to go around sanctions because Iran has been heavily sanctioned since their resistance efforts. And that's what they'll do here. They're trying to make sure they can funnel money in because they try to make this idea that, oh, we're subsidizing the rest of the world. No, if everybody's using our currency, that means they're generating money into us that we don't have to do nothing for. We're not making the oil. We're not producing it for them. That's all what they're doing.
Whatsoever.
We produce all our own.
If all of the oil is there and it's such a valuable resource, then they should be valued.
But that's not even the case. We produce way more oil. What the problem is they don't want to have that control so they can manipulate the markets. Their biggest fear is that they're going to use this oil as a tool to negatively affect our economy. We've seen it one time before. So essentially, they don't ever want this to happen again, where they give this opportunity for the Middle East to negatively affect our fuel exchange. Because then that messes up our prices, that messes up the money. They get in control with it. We don't have any control.
That was during Biden's.
No, that was this happened back in.
Okay, I thought you were talking about like the gas prices during Biden's.
Oh no,
it was like a year where it was just like.
But just to kind of finish up on that, again, they want to preserve the petrol system, ensuring that the global demand for the U.S. dollar, destabilize BRICS, who we've talked about on this show, and the Shanghai Corporation to divide the global South and disrupt the multipolar project, which that means is just. Instead of having this dictatorship that the U.S. has controlled with an iron fist since the 90s, they're saying, hey, no, more people should have opportunity to be their place in power, not necessarily just one person. Because what a lot of y'all and Ted Cruz and all you goofballs think, Iran is not no hellhole of a country. This is one of the most scientifically advanced countries. I think they're like top 20.
Great minds.
And the fact that y'all killed 6 of their top minds, some of their top military brass, my brother, y'all got something coming for y'all. And the fact that we as civilians might be affected by it is so fucked up. It's crazy. And again, this all just goes into their overall plan of breaking up the Iran, Russian, and China partnership with the ultimate goal of isolating Beijing. So again, that just highlights what is really going on. You're going to hear tons of justifications. You're going to hear, oh, they're bad people. They hate America. They hate your... No, they don't. They don't give anything care. They don't give one red cent about your fucking
They don't
freedom.
give a care.
They don't give a damn about your freedom. I promise you. And I just want to say, as just somebody who, again, I've always appreciated your culture and your history, what they did to stand up for themselves, to see what this country has done.
They had their foot on our necks from 1804 since now. It's really crazy. They meaning, the United States, because the Clintons, fuck y'all, and then also France, fuck y'all.
But no, just for what you're just saying, for them to have done what they've done since the 80s and created the country that they have, maintained the government they have. They lost their president in a helicopter accident, I believe last year, under murky circumstances. Okay, I for one thing, I feel as though niggas who live in the mountains probably know how to fly a helicopter in the mountains.
Probably, yeah. You can assume that they would.
and the country that putting bombs and pagers, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. You messed up a little something going on with the schematics. You hit a laser on them and made the mess up the specs and whatnot. I would believe it. So all to go to say is this, man, and just to finish up here. The more and more I learn about this conflict and the more I learn about the world and how everything has kind of just been working in conjunction, my idea of 9/11 has changed.
Oh, so do you no longer think that 9/11 was an inside job?
I think it was
you don't think Bush did it?
I don't think it was an American inside job. No. The more and more I start to look into it, it feels like it was a Saudi Israeli operation to ensure conflict in the Middle East for the next half century. Because who benefited more?
It did ensure conflict for damn sure.
So I'm saying, like, who else benefited? The people who did it technically had Saudi passports. That's what we were told. Mm-hmm. Again, the Israel conflict has only 10 times increased. So, I mean, those two people have the most to benefit from what happened outside of our military industrial complex.
Well, yeah, them and I think that's an interesting way to look at it.
And they've worked, their governments have worked close. So, I mean,
it was America in tandem with,
yeah, but I think that's the military industrial complex. But no, it's just for what was needed.
I always thought that it was an inside job.
Oh, I mean, I think in a way you have to have it be an inside gig in regards to people, maybe a blind eye here, you know.
It was a couple blind eyes.
Oh, it's a ton of blind eyes. But there has to, the excuse that, hey, we're not working together, those operations and agencies don't work together, the blind eye becomes more realistic. Mm-hmm. But who could exploit that would be somebody who has very close intel, who is an ally, someone you're supposed to trust, who could operate that, find that, and then give that information to somebody who would be valuable to.
Someone high up.
Somebody who country was once said, if we didn't have Israel, we'd have to make another one. That's what Joe Biden said.
Oh my God.
He did. He said if we didn't have Israel, we'd have to make another one.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane.
All right, man. But yeah, man, just don't fall for the propaganda, because all they want to do is call you a racist and say, oh, you hate Jews, when really you are against the Zionist colonizing state. Remember that. All right, I think we're good there, man. We talked about a lot. We got to it.
We did. I was trying to this whole time. You know what we should have did our cold open on? Why I've been getting so many Hispanic gay sex pages following me on Twitter. That's what we should have talked about. I just looked at my followers
again,
and it's just like hardcore too. Like, I don't know what, but also data leaks. Like I guess Trump raised the lifts on like spam text and all that stuff.
Now you got somebody particularly looking at you though. They said
it's on Twitter. Like, I wish y'all could see. It's more than 25 new followers.
A lot of pink meat.
And they got gay flag. I just been blocking these people for real because like I don't. All right,
you should just mute them.
I block them. What do you mean?
Well, I mean,
I think blocking is better than muting.
Well, they can still follow you, so yeah. I think you're right. No, I think it gets you off when you unfollow.
What was I gonna say? Fuck.
No, you just talking about what you say you've been blocking the gay guys.
Yeah. Before that though, but I was on my Twitter because I was trying to find your I don't want to call them your friends because you never met this person. Your colleagues from Spaces. He's the guy that always retweets when we put out a new episode.
Oh, Nick.
Like, yes, I knew your name was Nick. Nick, Dub, Danny. I need you to get on my side. I need you to get Rocky. I need you to get on my side. Who else's names should I be?
Oh, out of Weworks.
Will. You don't even live in New York. Will. Is that his name for real?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Will
whenever I
Kelly
call
wins.
him Will, you be like, you know him as something else.
Yeah, Jameson. That's his other name.
Yeah.
Evan is in New York.
Evan. Evan. Nick. Danny. Dub. Rocky. Convince this man to move to New York. I've been trying to just
It's a conspiracy.
Wear him down.
It's a conspiracy.
I ask y'all, every single time y'all are in Spaces, one of y'all need to bring up how he would thrive in New York and how much he would love it. Like somebody.
Ain't no sun, man. No vitamin D.
Somebody. You know what, Dub? Actually, let's take Dub out of that list. Let's take Dub out of that list because we were on the phone with Dub and he was like, "Oh, I think it would be a great move, but not permanently because blah, blah, blah." Shut the fuck up, Dub.
Nah, Dub was spitting.
No, Dub. All you need to be is on my side.
Nah, Dub was spitting.
And then he want to talk about, oh, there's not as much sun in New York as Georgia, so then you have a vitamin D. Who the fuck even, like, why is that something that would come up in your head in the first place?
I thought that was hard.
Why would that be a thing that you think of?
I thought that was hard.
I'll get him some vitamin D supplements. Like, don't piss me off.
Supplements? No, man.
Don't piss me off.
I want
swear
the
to God.
sun.
And then you see how light he is? He soaks up more vitamin D than we do on a regular basis. His skin is translucent.
I'm a bronze color right now. I've been outside
he's
doing work.
He's all almond toasty.
Yeah, I'm a nice.
I call him toasty almond in the summertime.
I'm a nice crisp.
You look like a latte.
Yeah, I'm like a rusty chestnut.
Latte is still mostly milk though.
You know.
One shot of espresso.
I got that good hue. My hair's starting to turn to brown. Come on.
Your hair been brown.
My hair turns black and brown. Turns black in the winter and black in
the ends of your locks are always brown.
That's dead hair.
Oh my God. Goodbye. Let's sign off because I cannot.
See how she just hates. She don't want that nigga be good. Great.
I want him to cut him off.
All right, let's go, bro. He over here being disrespectful now. All right. Thank y'all for listening to Talk FNF TV. Let them know what they need to do.
He needs to come up with a new sign off, and y'all need to follow us on all of the social media pages at talk.fnf.tv on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you're listening on YouTube, give us a like, comment, subscribe. If you're listening on any of the streaming services, please download the episode for us. That would mean a great deal. Thank you. Love you. Bye.
And if you're ever in a compromising situation, ask yourself, what would Bonnie Blue do?